Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our webinar today. We are delighted to have Varis joining us. They will be presenting on Procurement Simplified. And if you haven't been on our webinar before, we always record our webinars, so we will have this on our on-demand webinar library for you to review again or share with anyone. And you can find our library under our resources tab on our website, and that's Innovia.com. And we do encourage you to ask questions during our presentation, so please feel free to type them into the questions box on the webinar control panel, and we will get them answered at the end of our session. So now I'm going to turn it over to William to kick off our presentation.
Thanks, Angie, and good morning and good afternoon to everyone. Thank you for joining. My name is William Llewellyn. I'm head of channel development at Varis. I am responsible for helping to launch our product specifically for Business Central and to build a healthy ecosystem and to bring value to all of you. Also joined today is Paul Layton, who's a senior solutions architect, who will be going through and giving an overview and demo of our solution. So a few things I want to ground on how we'll spend our time today, one of which is business challenges that we believe many of you face, certainly customers we're already working with do. A little bit about us, who we are, why we exist, what kind of drives us, and how we're trying to bring a unique and differentiated solution. And then after we tell you a little bit about it, we're going to show you. So Paul, like I said, is going to lead a solution demo, talk about benefit savings, and then we'll also have time for Q&A. So don't hesitate to raise your hand or pop your question in the chat. We'd love to make sure that all of your questions get answered. Okay, so here's the point of feedback that we hear from customers, and this is both prospects of ours, existing customers, and people that we're talking to through influencers, is that currently, the macroeconomic environment is very challenging, and so a lot of the issues that we hear from customers are only heightened. Right, inflation has been kind of burning really brightly for a number of time, and a lot of people are under pressure for revenues, and a lot of organizations are not only trying to tighten up their P&L and balance sheets, but the supply chain distribution or supply chain challenges of the last few years have created a real crunch, and there's a lot of inefficiency built into what's going on. So I'm going to address each one of these points, but the key is we got to be able to have what we need to run our business. We need to have the right products, the right time. We also need to have great costs, right? So there's increasing focus on cost savings, I would say, and oftentimes, when you're looking at that and tighten budgets, it's not just here's what we need. It's really about, are we spending within budgets? Do we have controls over what's happening? And this is not just in certain areas. This is really across all spending categories. So this is based on an Accenture study, and the real question here is what might you be leaving on the table, right? So I believe the range is in the high teens to low 20s in terms of what the average customer is spending on indirect spending, but it's a significant portion of the P&L, right, of the operating expense of your business. And so, the question is, do companies have the opportunity, do you have the purchasing power really to maximize the cost savings on that? And then with a lot of procurement solutions, which tend to be more enterprise focused, which are heavy on the back end corporation organization benefits, but very poor on the end user experience, a lot of savings are never realized, right? So this can be because low adoption due to lack of awareness, lack of training, lack of usability, to be honest. And so even for a lot of solutions that are out there, people are having a hard time using them. So a lot of money spent, savings not realized for a variety of reasons. And we're bringing a solution to the table that I think we addresses all those. So what does this actually look like in customers? So this is, I'm not gonna drain this slide, but the concept here is if you look at kind of standard workflows, so this example is a company is onboarding a new employee, right? So effectively there's checklists, everything that needs to be done for that person to kind of come on board outside of the HR function, but I need a desk, I need a home office setup, I need a PC, I need a monitor, et cetera, right? So what happens today is, right, typically that request goes to somebody, oftentimes an email, sometimes a sticky note gets placed on someone's screen, along with probably, 10 or 12 other sticky notes. Hey, we need this equipment. Okay, know what it is. Okay, now once we figure out what it is, how do I go shopping? Where do I buy? How do I buy? How do I make sense of savings opportunities, promotions, right? This is online, this is offline, this could be specialty catalogs, right? That process is highly inefficient. The ability to compare offerings can be challenging. And then now it's time to buy. Well, typically companies are not, a lot of companies aren't using purchase requests. So you have spending that's happening, and it tends to be after the fact, and it comes in through expense reports. And everybody hates the process, right? We haven't even mentioned accounts payable and finance, where the stuff is coming in. Oftentimes documentation is not very good. There's frustration that somebody went out and spent money without authority or wasn't cognizant of balance. So overall, it's really poor for the employees, and it's a poor experience for companies. We have a solution for this. Varis for Business Central. So we're an enterprise-grade procure-to-pay solution. So we're gonna solve the issues of what the end user experience is like and make it easy to shop, easy to find what people buy. We're going to solve the back-end issues with integration with ERP and the ability for approval workflows, consistent documentation, the right process, and kind of automation on the back end. So the solution is easy to set up. It sits in Microsoft's AppSource and uses assisted setup wizard. Just as a brief understanding, to use our application, it usually takes about 30 minutes from the time that the application is downloaded, configured, to when end users can begin to shop. So it's a super short time to value. So there's a lot of companies out there who are in the e-commerce space, right? And you'll hear the word marketplace. Actually, it's increasing even more. So yes, we have a marketplace, but we have a marketplace that's differentiated in a number of different ways. One of which is we have a highly selective process to pick the suppliers that we want, right? So we're not, our platform is not open to anybody who sells a widget. We're looking at the key categories of spend. We're identifying who are the best suppliers for widgets in this case, and we're looking at product availability, national scale, ability to deliver on within a few business days, and then obviously pricing. So in addition to our customer-facing organization, we have a supplier management team who does all that. So what does that mean? That means you're going to have greater faith in the products that are there, that they're coming from business-grade suppliers. You're going to have confidence that we're negotiating national account pricing on your behalf. And from a category coverage perspective, that everything that you need is available. So we have, I think there's probably 12 to 15 categories of spend that cover a wide variety of needs, from office supplies to IT, to maintenance, repair, and operations, to lab safety and equipment, PPE, all of these kinds of things. And so we're confident that your experience is going to be cleaner than you might find on other marketplaces. That it reduces the risk of working with somebody who's not reputable, and that we're constantly looking at and doing all of this the supplier management and the pricing negotiation is all done on your behalf, and is just part of the service. So if you can shop online in your life outside of work, you can shop online in our platform. So the screen there here at the right that says "Let's get what you need" should have a very similar feel to what you experience, and Paul will show this here in just a moment. And then, right, the benefits that we talked about, right? So their cost savings, right? So again, we're negotiating pricing on all these goods and services at a national scale. Is going to increase spend visibility, right? So the people who are responsible for looking out over the stewardship of the company's financial resources are better suited to make sure that they're doing that, and they have help from all the people inside the company who are shopping. The built-in automation, the ability, the flow of documents from our platform into Business Central, using the workflow engines that enhances significantly the control and compliance posture. Another thing I'd like to mention is Varis for Business Central is a new extension to Business Central that's been was published in March in App Source. However, our technology platform has been in market for about 8 years. So we have an enterprise offering that's used by significantly sized businesses transacting billions of dollars on a monthly basis through our platform. So we've been in market for 8 years, and we really brought this to market because that's a great solution, and we wanted to, it's just unaffordable, or it's out of the reach, or it's just unpractical for a lot of small and medium businesses. So we saw a huge need in the market to bridge the divide between a great end user experience and kind of an enterprise grade procure to pay system. And therefore, that's what Varis for Business Central is. At this point, I've talked about the solution. Now it's time to kind of take a look at it. And I'll ask Paul to go ahead with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I was muted. Sorry about that. And this is the Business Central environment. We launched from within Business Central, and it requires at least a team member license to access the Varis marketplace. We make it very convenient within Business Central to access information you need from the marketplace. So I can actually access the marketplace right from inside of Business Central. I can access any invoices, purchase orders, or purchase requests also from within the Business Central environment. So we allow users to interact with the system without having to actually move into the marketplace every single time that they want some information. Now, this is the Varis marketplace. As William mentioned, this is the screen. Let's get what you need, and that's really what we want to be able to do. Any procurement system you're going to use is only going to be as successful as your employees' really willingness to use the system. And so what we try to provide to your employees is an e-commerce environment that provides an intuitive shopping experience that is comfortable, that can be sort of fun, and will allow them to get what they need in the fastest amount of time and be very comfortable to use. And that is what I believe that we've been able to offer here with the Varis marketplace. We have multiple ways to shop for the items that we need. So we can look by brand. If I want to come and follow one of these brands to a landing page, I can do that. I can shop by style of, or by brand name. So if I want to find Coffee Mate that's located in our marketplace, I just type in the brand, and I will get a landing page of all the various parts or types of Coffee Mate that we offer. And of course, there are lots of kinds of Coffee Mate, and so we offer practically all of them, which leads me to another shopping experience that I believe is really helpful for those people who are in your organizations responsible for doing things like making sure the break room supplies are up to date. And that is our shopping list. So you can see here, if I scroll down, that we've got lots of Coffee Mate that's available on this single page. And if I had to go look for Coffee Mate every month to fill up the break room, it would take some time to go in and find the brand that we're looking for. And so in order to make shopping more efficient, we provide your employees the ability to create shopping lists. And with these shopping lists, they can put all the things they need for the break room or for the janitorial closet in one specific shopping list, and then add everything to the shopping cart all at one time. This then lets me know that all the things that I'm adding to the cart are agreed to by our organization. So everybody that uses the break room is in agreement that these are the best things and this is what we like. So we keep this list together. And then if there are certain things that don't need to be purchased for this particular order, I can remove them quickly and efficiently and go ahead and place the order for those items. And in that way, I can make an order of a lot of things in just a few clicks. Complete the selections that I have available here and move forward for doing the work that I have been, paid to do for the rest of the day. So efficiency is generated by convenience, and convenience is really the reason why, as an employee, I'd rather come here than go to another e-commerce site where I have to search pages and pages for the things that I'd like to search or that I need to search for. Now, we do more than just office supplies and break room. If, for example, we need janitorial, we can go through and purchase things that we need for sanatorial. So let me get some 4-liter hand cleaner for us to purchase. This could be, and it could be any brand, but here's some 4-liter bottles of hand cleaner. So I can add those to the cart as I need to. And all my Jan San requirements then are finished for the day. If I need to purchase things like IT, maybe I want a Microsoft Surface laptop. I can go in and search for Microsoft Surface, and I will get a group of Microsoft Surface laptops that I can select from and then add that to the shopping cart as well. So a full array of shopping experiences using search and using shortcuts. We also provide for organizations that may need it the ability to upload entire shopping lists from an Excel spreadsheet. So if I'm a construction organization getting ready to load up a construction trailer with my supplies for a new job, or if I am a janitorial service, I need to purchase janitorial supplies for a stockroom, I can upload all of my selections in a single Excel file. That Excel file will be evaluated by the marketplace, and each of those SKUs will be identified and located. Then we can go through any place where we have a conflict. For example, I've got multiple suppliers for this item. I've got a SKU that is too short for this item, so there might be a problem with that SKU, and I can pick the right thing. I've got quantity issues here, whether I want a case or a pallet. And then once again, I've got a conflict here. I go through, I validate what I'm looking for, and now I can add this entire group of items to a cart. So what could have taken me a couple of hours to get through a search and select, if I went to a e-commerce site that's based out of Seattle, or e-commerce site that's based out of Arkansas, we would be able to efficiently bypass that and get everything loaded into our shopping cart all at one time. Now that everything's in my shopping cart, I have a seamless checkout process, and I can proceed directly to the checkout right from the shopping cart. In the checkout, I get to validate some information, but not too much. We're not asking your shoppers to know everything about your accounting system, but they should know where items are being shipped to, which warehouse, which location, Is it a person's location, or is it a different place? We can select those. Those, of course, are administered so that I can't just add my own address and have a refrigerator delivered to my house. These addresses are controlled and secured within Business Central and then synced into the Varis marketplace. I have all my suppliers on this particular requisition listed. Each one is going to be delivering part of this. And as a user, I don't need to care what supplier I'm purchasing from. All I need to know is that Varis will automatically break this requisition into the appropriate purchase orders. If there are shipping selections, for example, some items will offer expedited shipping. All of those expedited shipping, standard shipping will be available for me to select right here in my supplier acknowledgement area. And then finally, I can review the line items that I'm going to be submitting. At the bottom of the page is my payment information. How is this going to be paid for? And then a button to submit the request. Now, one thing William emphasized, and I want to emphasize this as well, we're not sending these purchase orders directly to those suppliers. We're sending those purchase orders into BC to be evaluated by the workflow engine. If I have enough open to buy, for example, the coffee supplies that we looked at earlier, I have a $500 available open credit. If that's not exceeded, then my purchase order will have already been sent to ODP to be fulfilled for those office supplies. But in the case of this $17,000 order, we are going to have an approval workflow that requires users that have been assigned to the workflows within Business Central to approve these credits. And so it gives me full workflow capability in the system to evaluate those specific items. And of course, in the Varis marketplace, I have full reporting of those documents. So if we take a look at the reports that are available, I see places to look at my carts, my requests, purchase orders, shipping notices, invoices, and of course, credit memos as well. And within the BC product, we have our approvals. So here I'm logged in as an approval user, and I show my requests that are available for approval. And from here, I can approve, reject, or delegate these choices. So want to make sure that we emphasize easy e-commerce-like experience, very intuitive to use, totally integrated into Business Central, allows for control, and best of all, the prices are lower than most businesses will expect to find on a standard e-commerce retail site. And with that, William, I am back to you.
Thanks, Paul.
You're welcome.
All right. Can everybody see my screen? Just a double check.
Yes.
Great. Okay. So Paul did a nice job summarizing this, and I want to bring a few things here to the front. So the product is easy to set up. Customers don't have to have help, but we are offering help to do like a 30-minute call, like I said, from download to configuration to being able to shop. It takes about 30 minutes, so it's a super quick process. We've done a lot of the heavy lifting. It's going to help you save money and save time and let you focus on getting what you need at a great price, and then moving on to the rest of what it is that you need to deliver for your job. All the capabilities of core great e-commerce marketplaces are there for your employees to use. And some of the efficiencies that you've seen with the shopping lists and the quick order the ability to pay for across multiple orders in a single transaction. And then, right, the fact that this is all tied in with Business Central. One of the things here that I think I want to call out is that, right, our Varis is free. It's free to you. And so any of your users inside of your company who have at least a team member license can shop on our website at no cost. So we've removed the question about what does it cost to use Varis. Now the question is, what's the potential savings? So this is a company, an example company out of a study that's right around where we expect a lot of our target customers to be in terms of revenue. We mentioned before there's a variety level, or based on the company's business, there is a level of indirect spend that varies between 15 and 30%. So in this example, a company has $1 million of addressable spend. Savings kind of across that on a blended basis is about 10%. So this company is saving $100,000 on an annual basis. You mentioned there's zero licensing costs. If you happen to not be on BC and you're looking at a decision to adopt the platform, we've also included just a relative view here of how much those savings compare to even the net new licensing costs just for Business Central. As you can see here, it's significantly, it's like 7x what those would be. So the point is, it's really the barrier to adoption is super low. The time to value is super high, and we believe this can have a material impact on your P&L in a very short time period. And with that, I do want to open the floor for questions with the audience. And Angie, if you could help coordinate that, that would be awesome.
Yes, thank you, William. We do have a few questions. If anybody has any additional questions, please feel free to get them in the questions box and we will get them addressed. All right, the first question is, does Varis work for the on-prem version of Business Central?
It does not. It works only with the SaaS version of BC.
Okay, thank you. And do I need to create relationship with each of the suppliers in the Varis marketplace?
No, you don't. If you end up buying from a supplier that's not in your system, we'll pass that information back into Business Central and it will automatically create a vendor record in BC. There's no need to do a contract or do something separate. It will not only purchase it and set up the shipping process, but will establish that company as a vendor of record.
Okay, thank you. And what types of goods and supplies can I expect to find on your website?
It's a great question. So we have office supplies, we have IT, we have, as Paul mentioned in his example, break room. We have a fairly large category of spend called maintenance, repair, and operations, safety equipment, et cetera. So we look across the categories of indirect spend are pretty, none of them are huge. And so we're constantly looking across that, and we basically are seeking to make available 85 to 90% of a company's purchasing needs across all of those categories.
Okay, thank you. And are shipping locations maintained in Business Central, or must we maintain shipping locations in two systems?
In Business Central. So in the demo Paul had showed where he wanted to ship that, and all of those are pre-populated in our platform from Business Central. So there's no risk that someone can create an unauthorized shipping location in our platform. That's all controlled within BC.
All right, thank you. And if I want to order from your website, do I need to be a BC user?
Yes. Part of the the security posture that we have is that, and right, we don't have if you go to Go Varis, you'll see our corporate website about us. You won't see a login and password to be able to shop. So the way it's accessed is exclusively through Business Central. So when Paul popped up his dashboard, there were items in the ribbon that launches and uses the identity and single sign-on from BC to put only licensed and authorized users into the platform to shop.
All right, I believe those are all the questions that we have for you today. If anybody has any additional questions, please feel free to type them in, or you can give us a call or contact Varis, and we would be more than happy to address those with you. I just want to thank Paul and William for presenting today. Thank you very much. And if you're on our webinar or you're watching on demand, we thank you for taking the time out to join us.
Yeah, so thanks everybody for joining. We'd love to talk to you about the solution, about how it's a good fit for you. And we can talk to you about your specific needs and see how we might be able to save you money. And we think this is good. So thank you guys very much. Here's some ways to reach out to us. And we really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everyone. And you can also check out our website for more of our upcoming events, and that's inovia.com/events. And we do have training workshops on our website as well, and that's inovia.com/workshops. We have a variety of workshops to fit your role, so check out the ones that are right for you and your team. And if you have not heard our latest Inovia Conversation podcast, we have a library of podcast episodes for you to listen to, and you can learn more on our podcast page, and that's inovia.com/podcast. So browse our selection and subscribe so you'll get notified when those new episodes air. And also, don't forget to check out our conference page, inovia.com/conferences. We will be attending Dynamics Con Live in San Antonio, Texas in September next month. So make sure you read up on all the details and register today. We do have a discount code on there as well. All right, well, we thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Varis, again for the presentation. And we look forward to seeing you soon at another Inovia webinar. Take care, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.